Let us now understand how the execution will flow when an invoker's write subprogram calls a definer's write subprogram. As a rule of thumb, remember that the definer's write subprogram has higher precedence than the invoker's write subprogram. Let us say we have again the two schemas demo and test. The demo schema has the employee table and the update EMP function, which is defined with invoker's write. Inside the update EMP function, it further calls a function getEMPCount, which is defined as definer's write. The function is directly called as an expression which will always get resolved to the getEMPCount function in the demo schema. The test schema also has the employee table. It has the execute privileges to call the update EMP function in the demo schema. Let us say we have a session running as the user test where it calls the demo.updateEMP function. The updateEMP function, being an invoker's write function, runs under the privileges of the test session, and the update to the employee table will get resolved to the employee table in the test schema. Next, it will call the getEMPCount function, which is defined with definer's write. I have just shown a small snippet of the getEMPCount function where it is getting the count from the employee table. The call to the employee table inside it will get resolved to the employee table in the demo schema, since getEMPCount function is defined as a definer's write. So, when the test session calls an invoker's write program, the program will run under the privileged set of the test user and will resolve the external references in the DML statements and the dynamic SQL statements in the test schema. But when the invoker's write subprogram in turn calls a definer's write subprogram, it runs under the privileged set of the definer, which is demo, and the external references will be resolved in the demo schema. Let us now talk about the case when an invoker's write subprogram in turn calls another invoker's write subprogram. The update EMP function was defined as an invoker's write subprogram, then call to the employee table in the update statement will get resolved to the test schema as before. Call to the function getEMPCount will get resolved to the getEMPCount function in the demo schema, but this time the call to the employee table inside it will also get resolved to the employee table in the test schema. So, when a session calls an invoker's write subprogram, it will run under the privileged set of the test user, and external references will get resolved in the test schema. And when that subprogram calls another invoker's write subprogram, then it will run under the privileged set of the invoker, and external references in the DML statements as well as the dynamic SQL statements will get resolved in the invoker's schema. And how about when the definer's write subprogram calls an invoker's write subprogram inside it? In that case, even the invoker's write subprogram will be called as if it was a definer's write subprogram. So a definer's write subprogram blankets everything under it to run as definer's write. Definer's write always has precedence over invoker's write. Here, now we have defined the update EMP function to be a definer's write subprogram, and getEMPCount, which it calls, is invoker's write. If demo session calls update EMP, then since it is both the definer and executor, both the functions will operate upon the employee table in the demo schema. But say we have a test session which calls the demo.updateEMP function, which is definer's write. So inside the update EMP function, the call to update employee will resolve to the employee table of the definer, which is demo. Then the update EMP function calls getEMPCount, which is invoker's write, but since it is invoked from a definer's write subprogram, it will run under the privileges of the definer, and external references to the employee table inside it will get resolved to the employee table in the demo schema. So when the test session calls a definer's write program, the program will run under the privileged set of the demo user and will resolve the external references in the DML and dynamic SQL statements in the demo schema. But when the definer's write subprogram calls an invoker's write subprogram, it runs under the privileged set of the definer, which is demo, and the external references will be resolved in the demo schema.